Hello, football family. Welcome into Huddle It Up Films. Wanted to spend some time looking at the personnel on defense. Now, as you know, most positions on defense are rotational. So who's in the game really depends on who the offense is throwing out there. Is it a heavy set? Is it a lighter set? Are there three receivers out there? Are there two tight ends out there? Is there a fullback on the field? And that will determine who is on the field for the Ravens. So this Ravens roster is deep. This Ravens roster has star power on defense, but wanted to take a closer look and take some guesses at when we're going to use these players, how they're going to be dispersed on defense. And again, a lot of that depends on the offense. So enjoy the show. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, share it with people. Would appreciate it. Football is family. Let's get into it. Now, the most common offense in the NFL, the one that the Ravens are going to be facing the most on defense, is 11 personnel, which is one running back, one tight end, three receivers. You see it there in the blue. So how the Ravens match up against this is pretty much your starting defense. And you see all the stars out there, all the veterans out there. There's not too many questions about this group. Two main questions that I can think of. Number one, Trenton Simpson. We talked about it on Wednesday night lives at 9:00 p.m. If you can join Huddle It Up Films for that. But will Trenton Simpson be out there at will linebacker? We would expect so. Now, remember, though, last year, week 1 at Kansas City, we expected Trenton Simpson to be starting with the first team. And instead, it was Malik Harrison out there. And if you guys remember, a lot of drag routes by KC, testing the middle of that defense. And that's how they were able to beat the Ravens early and build up a lead in that game. It's just basically running receivers into Roquan and Trenton Simpson's area and beating them with some short stuff. So we'll see. Could there be a surprise there? Could Teddy Buchanan start? Don't know. Don't think so. Don't think he would just leapfrog Simpson. The one that I'm looking at, which could be a surprise, is maybe Jay Higgins. Maybe Higgins impressed the coaches so much. They see his natural coverage ability. They see his natural ability as a linebacker, and they're not messing around week 1 against Buffalo, and they feel like Jay Higgins gives them the best chance to win. So outside shot, that happens. I'm sticking with Simpson in this prediction, playing next to Roquan Smith at the linebacker position. The other main question that I have is at the edge rushers. You see Odafe Oweh, Kyle Van Noy both out there. Now, both of those guys are in their free agent years, so the Ravens are going to give them plenty of chances to rush the passer. But how often is Mike Green in this defense? Is it he is in for Oweh every 3 series? And then for Van Noy every 3 series. So basically you would have Oweh playing 2 out of 3, Van Noy playing 2 out of 3, and Green playing the 2 out of the 3, which the other guys are resting. Could be how often or how soon does Green take over a role in this base nickel defense? Do they play him towards the end of the half, the end of the game, pure pass rush situations? How does Mike Green get on the field? That's something I'll be looking for. But first play of the game, 1st and 10, from the opponent's 30-yard line, you can pretty much expect us to run out this personnel, with the main question being, does Trenton Simpson get the start at will linebacker? Now, the second most common defense in which the Ravens will play is their base defense, their good old-fashioned 3-4, and you'll see this when the opponent goes heavier. So in this example right here on the screen, the opponent runs out 2 tight ends. Maybe it's a fullback and a tight end instead. But there are only 2 receivers on the field, so you don't need 3 cornerbacks out there. 2 main questions with this. The number one question for me is last year Malik Harrison was in that role where you see the 5 question marks. He was playing opposite Tavius Robinson as that run setter, the outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense, which is basically designed to play the run. Malik was actually in Tavius Robinson's spot, where you see Robinson's name in the screen, and Robinson was where the question marks are. I expect Robinson to be on that strong side, right across from that tight end, because he is the best edge setter on the team as far as the outside linebackers. But who will take that spot where we have the question marks? Could it be Odafe Oweh? Could it be Kyle Van Noy? I doubt it because of the age of Van Noy and the veteran. They probably don't want to use him to do too much of the dirty work. Oweh is a good edge setter. Does Mike Green come into play here? That would be something else. You know, a rookie considered undersized, known for his quickness and his bend. Is he really the best edge setter on the team? The second next best edge setter with Tavius. So who plays in that base defense, doing the dirty work, going against a lot of heavier personnel, going against a lot of run plays in this formation? Then the other question I have, you see the question mark next to Marlon Humphrey's name. When there are two cornerbacks out there, is this where Jaire gets his rest? You don't want to wear him out coming off the injuries, missing half of the games that he's missed half of the games, I believe, in the last 3 seasons. So you don't want to wear Jaire out. I imagine Humphrey, even though he's getting up there in age as well, may be that choice for the second cornerback when there are only 2 receivers on the field. The rest of the defense is pretty self-explanatory. Broderick Washington should get the time up front, with Travis Jones and Madubuike being the 3 big guys in this 3-4 defense. And again, who's going to be the linebacker next to Roquan Smith? We're going with Trenton Simpson in this example. But yeah, the 2 big questions: who's playing opposite Tavius Robinson in that other outside linebacker spot in the base 3-4? And does Humphrey, in fact, stay on the field 100% of the time and be that second cornerback, and Jaire get him a break when the other team goes heavy? So this is what we're looking at in the base 3-4 defense. Again, would love to hear your comments below. Who do you think is going to play opposite Tavius? Is this a good spot, like I'm suggesting, to get Jaire some rest time in there? Would love to hear from you. Lastly, we'll look at the dime defense. Now, this will be against 10 or 11 personnel. So the other team basically is throwing out either 3 receivers or 4 receivers. This will be used, of course, in 3rd and long, maybe even 2nd and long. The other team wants to get light. They want to spread the Ravens out. They want to put their 4 best receiving options on the field. And you see, it's a lot like the nickel defense. So Humphrey's out there in the slot, along with Jaire Alexander and Nate Wiggins. The big question here, and I chose Chidobe Awuzie for this, is who is the dime linebacker when we go to dime? The Ravens have some options here. Of course, they could move Kyle Hamilton into that dime linebacker spot and bring somebody like Ruben Lowry or Sanusi Kane in Hamilton's spot, or they could put Sanusi Kane or Lowry in that dime backer spot where you see Awuzie. So who is that extra DB that comes off the bench when we go to dime linebacker? I'm leaning towards Chidobe Awuzie just because of some of the reports I saw in camp about him playing in the dime spot. I know reporters have to be very, very careful about that, but that's something to look for, because the Ravens, of course, will face all different types of personnel, all different types of teams with different strengths. And there are some teams that say, hey, look, we can't go heavy and line up toe-to-toe with the Ravens. We're going to have to spread them out. So maybe that where you see tight end / receiver, maybe that's a receiving type tight end, like somebody that's not known for their blocking. So they got their best 4 targets on the field. How do we match up? We know in this scenario, Jaire Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, and Nate Wiggins will be opposite those guys. But who plays in the dime linebacker spot? Hamilton will be on the field. Will he be the dime linebacker and have them bring in another safety in Hamilton's spot? Or will they put someone like Chidobe Awuzie as that extra DB and dime? So quick video here. Didn't want to go too overboard with the explanations. I just pretty much wanted to ask you guys about this and give my own opinions. But as always, look forward to joining you Wednesday nights at 9 for Huddle It Up Films Live. Going to be doing these in-depth previews instead of just this generic layout right here. We will have names to put to the opponents. And this week, of course, week 1, the Buffalo Bills, some big matchups coming in early in the season. So thank you guys so much. Love my football family. Appreciate my football family. Please like, share, subscribe the video, and most importantly, comment down below who plays next to Roquan, who's playing in this dime defense, and how does Mike Green get involved on defense? How often, how early do you expect him to be one of these edge rushers? Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day, and thanks especially to my channel members. Really appreciate all that support. We'll talk to you later.